Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In today's video, I've got a couple airdrop updates for you, but I first want to talk about the market. But as always, just remember, nothing I say here is financial advice. Please do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube, and I'm not a financial advisor. And if you are interested in joining the Web3 Secret Society, you can check that link out in the description below. Basically, if you want coaching, guidance, and support to help you actually earn some significant amount of money in this cycle, join the 200 or so people who have found value in the group. Now, the first thing I want to cover here is the crypto market has somewhat recovered, albeit temporarily, with positive inflation results yesterday. As somewhat expected, inflation has slowed down, but that being said, we're still in a sort of sideways market, and I think a lot of people are unable to see the forest for the trees. And what I mean by that is, if you just take a look at where we are on Bitcoin, we're doing pretty good. Like, just think about where we were. We were in the throes of the bear market, right? Like, we are already like past, or we're around the same all-time high of the last cycle. We went all the way down to 17,000, which was the all-time high previously in the 2017 cycle. And people just take things for granted. I think people are so impatient. People are expecting things to just moon, and I don't blame you guys. It's because of the people you follow, the people who you talk to. They're the ones putting this bullshit in your head saying, oh, Bitcoin to $1 million. These ridiculous, unsubstantiated statements. This is why, like, guys, your number one thing should be to purge who you guys follow. More than half the battle is not hearing a bunch of BS, not having people blow sunshine where, the sun don't shine, and just enjoy the ride, right? Like, just imagine this. We've appreciated so much. I think people were like, wow, by March, we had already grown so much. They thought the trajectory would continue. And I suspect that it will, but we've got to take a breather. We've got to consolidate. And that's exactly what we're doing right here, right? This is why you can't trust those influencers who are just trying to like monetize your views. They want you to think, oh my God, that was just March. Don't worry, Bitcoin is going to be 300,000 by the summer. I saw that on so many influencers. This is BS. Now, we're recovering, but that doesn't mean you need to go heavy. It doesn't mean you need to go all in. But what I will tell you is, I have a very strict rule. By the time Bitcoin hit 60K, my investment in Bitcoin had stopped. I am no longer adding to my Bitcoin position. One of the biggest mistakes that people will make this cycle is they will buy slowly over time. They're going to buy little over here because they weren't sure on Bitcoin. They bought more at 25K, more at 30K. And as it rises, they buy more and more and more. So you get a sort of inverted pyramid. And what happens is this drags your average cost up so high that when the market does eventually return back to dust, when it comes down to around probably 40 to 50,000, which I suspect will likely be the next cycle low, well, at that point, your average cost will probably be around 70, 80, or 90,000, and you'll be underwater. That's how like 90% plus of people in crypto are losing money on cycles. They don't start off as losers, and they're not losers in the middle, but by the end of it, they're unable to detach from the narrative. They're unable to detach from the actual market cycle. So they fall for the traps. So I just want to sort of frame all of that, because I think people are getting very impatient. People are like, oh my God, every one of these protocols has got to pay. If you spent 5 minutes in an airdrop protocol and it didn't pay you $20, it must be a scam. Or it didn't pay you $1,000, it must be a scam. Can't think like this. I see these comments and I don't want to say I laugh, but I'm just like, come on, And at the same time, also, we've still got a ton of great airdrops coming. So the Drift airdrop went live this morning. I gave very clear instructions in the Web3 Secret Society that this thing would nuke. I said my target price was around like 30 cents, 30 to 35 cents is where I suspected it would go to. Obviously, people didn't push back in the Web3 Secret Society really, but I did get a bunch of pushback on Twitter, on Discord, when people were like, oh, all these people are cheating, they're getting out their tokens, I can just buy more, thank you, sell to me, and all these. It's just the same old cope. People love to cope when it comes to these things. Let's just be straight up here. When is the last airdrop that didn't just floor when it launched? And it's not reflective of any project. The reality is, with all of these projects, there's just so many tokens coming out. There's not enough liquidity. People realize, if I buy this token now, it's going to jump. There are still some stupid people out there who will hold, and there's some stupid people who are out there buying early. Those people, they're not going to make it. They're going to lose all their money. So it's going to be even worse in the long term. So for the Drift airdrop, it was very clean. You went to drift.foundation. Their claim is open for 3 months, and they have a special unique offer, which in my mind is a trap, which is you can get all of your allocation, or you can get your initial allocation at launch, or you can get double it if you waited like a couple hours. In this case, you had to wait 6 hours to get it. And 6 hours is a long time in crypto when people are dumping. Now, there are some people who fell for it, so be it. There are also some people who couldn't participate, and I was one of those. So if you guys are aware, there was an update to the Drift airdrop allocation. They've updated their anti-Sybil system, and they reallocated their airdrop, which was kind of weird because I was tagged as a Sybil. I've only used one wallet with Drift, and it was to deposit in their vault. So I did not trade, but I used their vault, and I put in thousands of USDC for a period of time. I know I mentioned this on a video, and somehow I got flagged. So I only earned like 200 tokens, but I didn't get it. So be it. I filled the form out. Maybe they'll rectify it. I don't know how much those tokens are going to be worth when it happens, because those tokens, they give you until the end of May 30th to fill the form in. And then after that happens, that's only when the token will be released. So if you got mistakenly identified as a Sybil, you're out of luck. You're just completely out of the game here. Now, all you have to do is go and click on this button, check your eligibility, links in the description below. This is what I saw here because of that Sybil flag. CC2 Ventures actually made a post about this morning, which I was surprised to see, and I hope he didn't actually do this. He was going to wait 6 hours to claim full allocation because of some game theory elements. At the time, I think he was saying Drift was 50 cents on BitGet. It did start at $1.30 pre-market, but it definitely did drop. And he got a ton of tokens. So he got 40,000 or 41,000 tokens. And he's got like the initial allocation and the double. So he waited. Obviously, we're going to see how that turned out, because, my suspicion was that it would dump. And it's not like, not me being Nostradamus. It was just like literally looking at 7 o'clock and saying, oh, in an hour, it's 8 o'clock. If you go to this tweet, you can find their contract address, which was very helpful. And Jupiter typically will have the best way to trade and also farm that airdrop. So what happened over here was, the token's sitting currently at 27 cents. But just like, let's zoom out a bit and just see what happened. In fact, you can see it here, but you can probably better see it on Gecko Terminal. Just look at that massive red candle. Are we surprised? No, not at all. And I know some people were hating on the protocol because of what happened with Sybil. I don't think it has anything to do with the team. The team did nothing wrong here. This is indicative of the market. There's just too many tokens, too few liquidity, not enough people buying them. And I basically said, as expected, was the next Solana token to completely nuke on launch. If you held for the 2x claim bonus, you lost 2x more. Not unexpected. And what was surprising was, I was asking a question in the Discord, and some weirdo, this absolute clown, was like, he basically told me that people who got Sybiled, they deserve it. They're just going to cheat their airdrop, and they were like scamming or something. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You know nothing if you say that. And he's like, oh my God, this guy, he's a what's it called? I think you should stick to what you are good at, airdrop farming and rugging your subscribers. So I don't know what he was talking about. I asked him for proof. He couldn't provide any. Maybe you guys can let me know. When have I rugged people? I don't know how you rug people when you tell people to sell. I feel like that's the exact opposite of that. I think that the clear takeaway here is until the sentiment changes, it's not worth holding an airdrop. The other thing that came out of this, and I hope is very loud and clear, is how much this paid out. People who were in perps got paid out big. So there is another perp on Solana that I've been telling you guys about. I posted about this last week, and this is Zeta Markets. And you guys know they're having a sort of competition with Jupiter, Pyth, and a few other different protocols. You have different ways to qualify. I chose Jupiter because for a couple reasons. And I told this in the previous video, but I'll go over it again. If I'm competing, I want to go where people are battle hardened for perps. Jupiter perps is already a big deal. Number two, it's got the biggest community. It's got the most people who stake Jupiter as well versus Pyth versus people who own NFTs or do 5 transactions on the bridge. So I just thought they would win. And for me, this was very important because of the way the competition works. So the way the competition works is you've got a period of time, 5 days left. You can still join if you want to. There's 8 million tokens up for grabs. The first ranked community gets 1 million bonus. The second gets a 670K bonus, and the third gets 330K bonus. So what was happening was, well, if that was going on, I wanted to earn some. I took a look here and I bet on Jupiter on day one, and surprise, surprise, Jupiter's in first with the most members, the most trading volume, pretty much almost double number 2 at Pyth. You could sort of game it and try to be in one of the smaller teams where there's less volume, so you can hope that you can make more of an impact. But then you're also sharing a very pitiful amount of tokens. If I do the math here of what we got here, currently by this rate, just on the competition alone, I should get 831 tokens based on my Z-score. Now, I've only been doing this for a week, and as you guys know, I'm super risk averse, and we haven't really had much actual volatility in the market, just some slight bumps, dips, whatever. So if you take a look at my profit and loss in the period of time I've been here, I made $73. Okay, very passive. I just press a button, leave it, do whatever, and then it makes me money, and I'm farming the airdrop. Guys, this is why I keep telling you guys, if you don't need to, I don't need to sit here and make 1,000 off 6,000 or whatever. I just want to make small incremental. I want to farm this airdrop, and I want to earn thousands this way. Obviously, I view this as a bonus, and I'm probably going to turn this into passive income because this is so easy to plan out. Right now, I have a Solana short that I made a very small amount. I'm using such a small percent of my margin, 0.9%. People are going to look at this and go, what is Browngen doing? You should be doing a 50x. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm not a dumbass. I'm not going to risk my capital at all. This allows me, if Solana value goes up, I can keep going short on this. I'm only short on this because I own a ton of Solana tokens, and I expect, based on my charting, for Solana to retrace back to around 150. So that's sort of how I'm playing this. So I've got a lot of backup exposure. In fact, if Solana breaks out 500 from here and I have the short position, fantastic. I got a ton of Solana to cash out on there. But guys, this is why I think it's so important. Do these things that no one else is doing. Don't be sitting there doing what the influencers tell you to do. Bridge this, do this. Go into scroll marks and just compete by just burning money on bridging to earn some more points. That's what people are doing. It's a joke. Same thing here. If you go in here and you just try to burn money to earn Z-score points, if the airdrop doesn't turn out the way you want, you'll be upset. I think for you guys, take advantage of the rebate you're getting with this airdrop or whatever to learn how to actually do perpetuals. I do want to remind you there is a cost to hold tokens. So it's a sort of borrowing cost. You can't just open these positions forever. And that's also the reason why my P&L is only $73. Otherwise, it'll be like 80 something. The other thing I want to say is this is sort of the information on the Zeta tokenomics. So you can see here the incentives, the governance, the booster, and how all of this will work. I'm not going to go into it, but I have included the link in the description below, as well as my referral link. It would mean a lot to me if you use it, but nothing for real that you have to do it. Don't feel obligated. The next update I have for you is T-Vera. T-Vera actually is a protocol that I was not farming really, but I joined it on ZK Sync over a year ago when I followed people who told me to do every single thing with airdrops, right? And I was like, oh, are you sure? And I learned quickly that they were wrong, but they are going to reward some of the distribution of the layer 0 token for Tevin. So if you are part of this ecosystem, they're going to give 45% to top 5,000 Tevins based on reputation score and 30% to Guardian ONFT bridge users. So if you have, I'm also 15 to Magical Phoenix NFT holders. If you are part of this community, I think it's a really good gesture of will. If you haven't checked it out, I've included their Twitter as well. I think it's a really cool game and also was a really good way to get some exposure to ZK Sync. The next update here is Blast. As you know how I feel about Blast and keeping my money on it, but I do still have about 0.2 or 0.3 ETH on the platform. I think 0.1 is in yield token as part of Crypto Valleys, and the other 0.2 is sitting on the protocol. Well, they have delayed their launch. So initially, end of May was supposed to be the airdrop. Now they're saying it's launching in June, and they're going to increase the airdrop allocation to account for this. Some people are happy about it because this means they have more time to earn more gold and more points. For me, I'm not really doing that much more. I just have my 12x multiplier, which you can do by going to the multipliers tab and going in here and doing the activities. They're pretty easy. And then you can also sometimes win the gold jackpot. Oh, cool. I got 7.91 gold. I just hit the tweet button. By the way, here's a secret. You don't even have to tweet it. You just hit the button, you claim it, and you're good to go. So I'm glad that popped up so I can show you live. And, just follow the instructions on multipliers and add some NFTs and tokens and whatever that you have on the platform, and it will literally randomly win you some jackpots too. I'm sure there's better strategy on it. I'm not the person for Blast, but I got 10 million points. I've been farming this since January. I think you guys have seen my initial video. The 173 goal I have here is currently worth about 6 million points as well. So interesting, obviously, but we'll see how this turns out. I'm not too fussed about it. We'll close this. The next thing update is the linear surge kicks off from tomorrow. So the snapshot, where was this? The snapshot was taken already. So this is an I don't know why they're saying this, but this was an older post, May 15th. And basically, if you haven't already, make sure you've gotten that linear voyage, the surge taken care of. Okay. The next update here is this banter bubbles. This airdrop is still happening for their second drop of gummy. I don't know why it just decided to crash on me right now. But make sure if you haven't already, it's free to sign up. The people who signed up made a bunch of money early on, earn those points. You see the ticker timing up here. I got like 16.8 million points. Free money's free money. The first airdrop gave pretty much anyone who followed the instructions between 80 to $100 for just having this website open. The update I have here, or the next one I have up here, is around Blackwing. So this is a protocol that I covered very early on. Like early on as in, I think they had like a couple $1 million in TVL. And it's great to see this project growing. This is another way I get exposure to EtherFi because I deposited ETH with them. They did launch their testnet a couple days ago. They've also rewarded early testnet users. Make sure you get in there. All you got to do is trade some of the BXP that you've earned on the platform for some BUSD. So you can use this to practice some perpetuals or whatever. You go in here, you can go long or short. It's pretty cool. I recommend you do it if you haven't already. And if you're not sure what to do, I have a complete airdrop guide on Blackwing. It's not too late. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to not just earn the Blackwing token, but also the Initia Foundation token, which is actually the next topic of discussion because they just launched their public testnet. You can go in here. Remember, link is in the description below, and go in there. You have to go in the Discord. You have to sort of verify your address. You may have to take some time because there's a backlog, but go in here and do the activities. Very basic. You guys know I don't talk about testnets, but Initia was one of the protocols that I've been really looking forward to. It's the reason that I got Blackwing. That's the reason I got into it in the first place. So check this out. Don't spend too much time. My number one priority, the one that I keep telling you guys about, is Perpetual's orderly network. I don't have it on the screen, but go in here, get into the competition, pledge your allegiance to one of these. If you're smart, you're going to pick Jupiter. unless you want to sort of game it below over here, but you'll have to own the Super Team or Mad Labs NFT. So obviously there's a bit of a barrier there. But Jupiter, we have the next vote coming up on the 22nd as well. So might as well get some Jupiter staked and earn some Z score points and make some money at the same time. That's the number one thing I want you guys to take away from this video and all the videos I make. My number one goal is to show you how to make money, and airdrops are a bonus. This is why I won't tell you to just burn money, burn gas, and do all that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't sold your drift token yet, I'm not really sure what to tell you, because I don't know if it's going to go down even more. I think at some point it's going to find a floor, but I can't tell you where that is. All I know is I would never be in that position. And in the future, if you want to make sure you're not in that position, go to drift markets. Not drift markets. What am I saying? Go to whale market and make sure that you list the token there. And that way you can capitalize on that price early on. So hope you enjoyed this video. A little longer than I thought it would be. It's about 20 minutes. But if you can show your appreciation by smashing the like button, commenting below, letting me know if you like the video, what you think, share the video with a friend. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.